Okay class, good day everyone. So my name is teacher Norman L. Pagalan Jr. So I'm your teacher for now in the science. So class, let's check your attendance first. I think you are all present now. So let's proceed to our discussion. What have you observed in this picture, class? This picture shows an ecosystem. In the first picture is a ecosystem of coral reef, and the second picture is represent from the picture of tropical rainforest. That's right. What is our lesson, class? Anyone who can guess what is our lesson for the day? That's right, an interactions among living things in coral reefs and tropical rainforest. Ecosystem. An ecosystem is an environment where both living things and non-living things interact with one another. So, a coral reef ecosystem, first let's talk about coral reef ecosystem. Our underwater ecosystem formed from the skeleton of tiny marine invertebrates called coral. So, also called a rainforest of the sea. What also called a coral reef ecosystem, class, is also called referred to, that's right, a rainforest of the sea, which is, it is more likely to tropical rainforest because the coral reef represents such as trees, it can be grass, trees, as you can see in the coral reef ecosystem in the picture, you can see like it represents as a tree. That's right. So let's talk about the interaction in the coral reef ecosystem. So what have you observed in this picture, class? What have you seen ecosystem, species? The crab and the, what species attaches in the back of the crab? It is the sea sponges. That's right. It is the sea sponges which benefits among of this interaction. That's right. Both of them benefits from the interaction, which is the sea sponges attaches the back of the crab, which is the sea sponges easily to eat food because the crab it doesn't take one place, it moves everywhere. So the crab in here benefit from the sea sponges, which is it gives him a what, class? It gives him a camouflage. It gives the crab from the sea sponges a camouflage from the predators that might eat him. So this called interaction is called mutualism. A mutualism is a relationship between two species where both organisms benefit. So let's move on to the next interaction of the coral reef ecosystem. What have you observed in this picture, class? That's right. This picture shows us a interaction of whale and barnacles, which does the whale harm from the barnacles attaches to the skin? That's right. That's right. It doesn't hurt the whale because the barnacles did not hurt the whale because it attaches only to easily to eat food from the ocean, which is the whale is, it doesn't take one place, it swims anywhere. So the barnacles benefit from this interaction, which unlike from the however the whale did not benefit from this interaction. This interaction called commensalism is a type of relationship between two living organisms in which one organisms from the other without harming it. So what have you observed in this interaction, class? This picture. That's right. It is the fish and the what, class? This is called the parasite or lysis in the ocean, which is attaches in the skin of the fish. So the fish in here is harm. So the parasite is the only one benefited from this. So this called interaction is parasitism. So it's a parasitic creature attached to the skin of the fish. That's right. So next interaction. So what have you observed in this interaction class? What have you seen in species or organisms in here in the coral reef, in the ocean? That's right, the yellow part in here, which is we call sea sponges. The color yellow, or kind of like color yellow, which is the sea sponges. The other look like a tree or a grass is what we call a what grass? That's right, a coral reef, which benefits from this interaction. Both of them benefit, but they compete from the resources of the dissolved nutrients from the ocean. The sea sponges and coral reef compete from the dissolved nutrients. So this interaction is called competition, which is the interaction of individuals that vie for a common resource that is limited supply only. So what have you observed in this picture, class? That's right, this picture shows that the small fish gets eaten by the bigger fish, or what we call a barracuda fish, which is the barracuda fish is dangerous because this creature it eats from the smaller fishes. Also it attacks from the human also. So this called interaction is called predation, an interaction in which one organism kills smaller organisms for food. Now class, what have you observed in this picture? What creature or species is this? What have you seen in this picture, class? That's right, a frog and the leaves of the plant, which benefited among of this interaction. Only the frog, because frog uses the leaf because it seems has a type of color in the back of the frog, which is the leaves serves to camouflage the frog for not be eaten by the snake or the other predator that might kill him. So this interaction is called commensalism. What again is the definition of commensalism? Is a type of relationship between two living organisms in which only one organism benefit from the other without harming it. So let's move on to the next interaction. What have you observed in this interaction, class? What species have you seen in this, or organisms? That's right, a bees and the flower of the orchid, which benefited among of this interaction. They benefited, both of them benefited of these interactions, which is the bee extracted a honey in the pollen of the flower, which is the pollen of the flower. It gives him a bloom, or it makes him bloom the flower of the orchid, and the bee benefited it from the extraction of the what, class? Honey. That's right. So a mutualism is a relationship between two species where both organisms benefit. What have you observed in this picture? What have you seen? That's right. In this picture, where we can see that trees, small trees, grass, plants, and shrubs, which is they compete for each other for them to live. That's right. They compete from the what resources, class? Nutrients of the, that's right, in the soil. They compete for the nutrients of the soil. This interaction is called what we call, class? a competition. That's right. The interactions of individuals that vie for a common resource that is in limited supply. So what have you observed in this interaction class? What have you seen in this picture? That's right. The jaguar attacked the crocodile for they to eat. So that's right. This interaction, who benefited among of this picture? Only the jaguar. That's right. The crocodile gets harm of this interaction because the jaguar attacked the crocodile. That's right, to eat him. This is called interaction of predation, which is when one species eats another. Now class, I have a question. What makes an tropical coral reef ecosystem? What makes a coral reef ecosystem? That's right. A coral reef ecosystem is there is structures of coral reef such and creatures such as what class? That's right. Such as creatures, species of anyone who can guess? A shrimp, a fish, mollusk, barnacles, whales, and there's plenty of it in the species or organisms in the ocean or in the coral reef. How about the tropical rainforest class? What makes a tropical rainforest? It consists of what? It consists of living things such as what? That's right, plants and animals, trees. There's a lot more of it. So, what is our topic again, class? That's right, our topic is an interaction among living things in the coral reef, interactions among living things, coral reefs, and tropical rainforest. So, does the coral reef and tropical rainforest are important? Who wants to answer? So, that's right. The coral reef and tropical rainforest is important, which is the coral reef gives us a supply for food such as fishes, squids, octopus, crabs. That's right. It gives us supplies for food. But what class? Let's not do over harvest because it gives them extinction for the species. Because so we have to harvest only which is limited only. So let's not throw garbage from the ocean because it causes harm from the species in the ocean. And let's not touch the coral reef because the coral reef is a habitat of the smaller fishes, which is they breed from the coral reef. So does the tropical rainforest is important also? That's right, it is also important because the tropical rainforest gives us what class? Oxygen. That's right, an oxygen. It gives an oxygen. It gives us the human an oxygen, or the other animals it gives what? That's right, an oxygen also from the animals. You can also get from the animals, but there's an animals that prohibited not to kill because they are extinction, because they are now less. So let's not what class, let's not what cut the trees, or if you have to cut the trees you have to replace the what class, the small small tree, you have to replace them if you have to harvest. So let's not also burn, which is called kaingin, because it can be burn the forest. So let's not burn. If you have to cut it, class, if you have to cut it, the tree, what have you to do? What next you have to do? You have to plant. That's right, you have to plant to replace the tree you have cut. So tropical and forest ecosystem, coral reef ecosystem is important, which is they serve as an important to give us a supplies for us. Let's do some group activity. Group 1 in here, first picture, and the group 2 is in the second picture. All you have to do is read the direction. So let's read the direction. The following are found in coral reefs and tropical rainforests. Each group must classify them as living things or non-living things. I'll give you 5 minutes to answer this, class. I think you are done, so let's check your answers. Let's check first the group 1. Does the grass belong? Now, class, let's check your answers. So, the group 1, living things in here is the grass, the bird, and the trees. And the non-living things in here is the rock and the sun. That's right. Why the sun belongs to non-living things? Because the sun does not eat and it doesn't move. So it only provides energy. It gives us energy, which is the sunlight. So the sun belong to non-living things. So the group 1 is all correct. How about the group 2? In the coral reef ecosystem, non-living things in here is the fish and the coral reef and the turtle. Why is it the coral reef belongs to living things? Because the coral reef has a life and it does eat and it provides some protection for the fishes, which is that is the habitat of the species of the ocean. So a non-living things in here is the rock and the ocean water, which is the ocean or the water is what, class? It gives only it provide only what is support for the species in the ocean, which is it gives purpose of the species for them to live. The water does not have a life, so the water belongs to non-living things, also the rock. So let's move on to the individual quiz in the evaluation part. Let's read the direction first. Write the correct answer in the given question. So number 1 is, what species can we find in coral reef? A. Crab, B. Jaguar, C. Frog. What is the answer in this class? That's right, the letter A, which is the crab. Number 2 is, what species that we can find in the tropical rainforest? A. Mollusk, B. Monkey, C. Fish. That's right, the letter B, which is the monkey, which is it lives in the tropical rainforest. Number 3 is, what species that we can find in the coral reef? A. Bird, B. Monkey, C. Whale. That's right, the whale, because the whale lives in the water, which is in the coral reef ecosystem. Number 4, what species that we can find in the tropical rainforest? A. Frog, B. Whale, C. Seahorse. That's right, a frog, because the frog lives in the What class? Tropical rainforest. That's right, because frog, it doesn't live in the coral reef ecosystem or in the ocean. What species that we can find in the tropical rainforest? A. Jaguar. B. Fish. C. Whale. That's right. Letter A, because the jaguar lives in the what? In the tropical rainforest or in the forest. So, who gets the perfect answer? Wow, congratulations! All of you has a correct answer. Let's clap of all of you 5 claps everyone. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Thank you. That's right. So let's move on to your assignment before we go home. Now, draw a living thing. Direction. Read the direction first. Draw a living thing that you may find in the coral reefs and tropical rainforest. At least 2 examples each. 2 coral reef that you may find in the coral reefs and 2 for the tropical rainforest. You have to pass it tomorrow. So that's all for our topic for this today. So now class, you can go home. So thank you for listening and God bless. You can go home now. Thank you.